Well, it seems that all of those gaunts in the Tyranid combat patrol box are going to be hitting extra hard. The Termagants Fleshborers are looking more dangerous than bolters at the moment, making a massive impact with strength 5 and AP-1. Hello and welcome back to Warspets Tactics, where today I just quickly wanted to mention another Tyranid League, a packaging datasheet one for the Gargoyles, which largely doesn't show too many surprises, besides a massively increased profile for the Fleshborer. It certainly looks like a 9th edition statline increase, with an extra pip of strength, AP, and a bit more range. It looks like these things are actually going to have some damage worth considering. In Warhammer 40k, the Fleshborers are the basic bioweapon carried by the Tyranid Termagants and Gargoyles, and as is fairly standard with Tyranid weapons, they are pretty disturbing. Both the gun and the ammunition are technically living creatures, the weapon beast of the Fleshborer being infested with borer beetles, essentially horrific living bullets that get spasmed out as it's shot, travelling at enormous speeds towards the target, and when they impact they essentially try and dig into whatever they touch, chewing through it with these horrendous claws and teeth, and helped out by some acids and enzymes. Not exactly one of the weapons that I'd most want to get hit by in 40k, to be honest. Currently, these beetles, while being pretty horrific, aren't exactly the most scary thing in 40k. The Fleshborer at present has a 12-inch range, strength 4, AP0, damage 1. Even when mounted on 5-point termagants, that still doesn't add up into any sort of decent damage output. They're only really good for a little bit of token fire, perhaps to help some termagants repel enemies from objectives. If you want to actually deal some serious damage with them, you're better off with the Devourer. In any case though, on these cheap little hordes, they're going to be significantly more punchy, still remaining an assault weapon, but going up to 18-inch range, strength 5, AP-1 and damage 1, which I must say, I wasn't expecting it to be quite so vicious for this gun. I suppose if they want to keep them as one-shot weapons, it's going to be the strength and AP that increases, as opposed to the rate of fire. I must admit it maybe does feel a little bit weird having more strength and AP than a standard bolter in 40k. Kind of makes me wonder whether or not Games Workshop are going to up that thing's stats when the new Chaos and Space Marine codexes come out. In any case, currently with Termagants at 5 points each and Gargoyles at 7 points, it does look like they could be a fair bit more efficient as damage dealers. I guess in theory with Termagants that'd be 30 shots for 150 points, and at the new profile that roughly equates to 8 dead guardsmen, 2 or 3 dead marines, or 2 or 3 wounds to a toughness 8 vehicle. Still not truly enormous at that kind of points cost, though still fairly impressive for a horde. 30 model units that are cheap with OBSEC have a bit of value all of their own. If you throw them onto an objective, the enemy isn't going to be able to take it off you without doing some significant work. On top of that, if there's ever a Codex Tyranid weapon that's going to have a lot of buffs available, I think it's going to be this. Leader Beasts sound like they're going to be giving out a few more rerolls, and I'm sure there'll be at least some specific stratagems around the Fleshborer. I think there's already one available specifically for it in the Codex Leviathan supplement, which probably isn't going to get replaced. That one allows for some mortal wounds on 6s, could be a really nice addition to any of the damage done that I mentioned already. Despite having really quite impressive stats, I still don't necessarily think it's going to carry Termagants into being actual significant damage dealers compared with other things in the Codex. The shots are only damage 1 and they're only hitting on 4s, which does limit things a bit. If they lose access to options like double shooting for 2 CP and the Devourers for 3 shots at strength 4, you might actually be getting less damage output out of Termagants than you might have been in the current Codex. Still though, it certainly seems like cheap Termagant squads for holding down objectives are going to be more of a threat, and seems like it could go quite well with that combat patrol set that they teased, the one that has no less than 30 Termagants in it. It'd be kind of helpful if they were quite efficient, if that's going to be the value deal on offer. So anyway, let me know what you think of the new weapon stats. I'm sure there's going to be at least a few Tyranid players listening, with hordes and hordes of Termagants already painted up, who might well appreciate this damage increase. If you've enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe to Auspex Tactics, where I'll certainly be keeping up with any of the new Tyranid news and updates as it comes out, and I do look forward to reviewing the new codex in full once it's released. Finally, if you have been enjoying any of the videos on the channel, I would just like to mention there's a couple of things down to support in the video description, a link to the Element Games discount retailer in the UK, where you can pick up models at a discount, and the channel's Patreon page, which allows me to make so many videos so often. Feel free to give those a look if you'd like to. In any case, a massive thank you for listening, and I'll hope to see you guys next time.